What's up, people? How are you guys doing today? My name is Luffy. Thank you guys for tuning into my video. Today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some of the clickbait headlines that you see in the news media, as well as on YouTube and Instagram and other social platforms. A couple weeks ago, one of the reports from the National Multifamily Housing Council said that 69% of people had paid their April rent. All right, and that was pretty much what came out as the headline news. 69% of tenants paid their rent. 31% of tenants didn't pay their rent this month. These were the numbers that were kind of being thrown around, and that is partially true. While it's true by the 5th of the month, maybe 69% of tenants had given a rent payment. The 5th of the month was also a Sunday, meaning the 4th of the month was a Saturday. 40% of the days that you're reporting on were weekends, where people just aren't likely to pay rent. Furthermore, the National Multifamily Housing Council released a new report that shows a little bit more accurate information for the entire month of April. So up until the 19th of April, we're looking at about 89% of tenants having paid their rent. That's 1 in 10, as opposed to the 30% that hadn't paid it, by the headline news media by the 5th of the month. How does that compare to before? So before, we were looking at about, like 1 year ago, so you go back to April 2019, we're looking at about 93% of people having paid their rent by the 19th of April. This is significant because it means that we've only really had a 5% reduction. 4% in the actual amounts, but 89% is 95% of 93%, if you can follow that. So it's about a 5% year-over-year reduction. Headline isn't reality. That's clickbait. This is reality. These are real numbers and real data. And this is important because when you move based off of headlines, your emotions are guiding your decisions. And especially in times like this, we need to be even more rational as opposed to irrational or emotional, because you have to make sure that you're making the right steps forward. You don't want to feel like this is the next step or the right thing to do. You want to know that this is the right step or the next thing to do. So actually digging into the numbers and figuring out what it is that they say, what is this story painting? What story do these numbers tell me? That is a lot more important than just reading the headline news article and saying, wow, 69% of people didn't pay their rent this month. We're fucked. Well, no, that wasn't the case at all, actually. In fact, they surveyed like almost 12 million, I almost said 12,000, 12 million apartments to figure out this information. So it's relatively accurate, and you would think that people would dig down a little bit deeper into the numbers to figure out, like, oh, we're at 69%. How much were we at before? And they're like, oh, well, before we were at 81%. So about 60, 70, 70% of people I'd seen maybe mention that. They're like, oh, it's clickbait because, last year we were at 81%. Now we're at 69%. That's actually only a 12% decrease, where it's still not the entire story. Come out to later in the month and then let's see. And let's even more so, this is 1 month. Next month, May, that is the real data mine of information. Once May figures come out, we'll have a lot better picture of what the economic ramifications of all of this stuff happening really are in the rental market. So I just wanted to make this video real quick for you guys, show you that headline news, or not even show you, to tell you that headline news isn't the data. Dive into the data if you actually care to know about what's happening. If you just want to be entertained, read the headlines. If you want to understand so that you can move correctly, read the data. If you don't have time, subscribe to my channel because I'll do it for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. One love. I'm out.